Hey, what's up guys? It's your boy the Fice back at it with another Raid Shadow Legends video. But if it's your first time here, definitely be sure to hit that subscribe button, leave a like, leave a comment. We're a small YouTube community slash gaming channel, guys, and I can only grow with your help. So if you can subscribe, show that love and support. Come join us on Discord. It's the best community ever. Come follow us on Twitch. All the links are going to be down below. And also, guys, if you wanted to support, there is a Patreon link. But if you don't want to do donation and you wanted to get something else, we do have our first Fice fam merchant item that's going to be dropping soon. I'm going to be putting it in the description below. I know a lot of people are patiently waiting for it. It's a Street Fighter Fice shirt. If there's one way that you definitely do want to show some support and love, but also get something out of it, definitely be sure to check out that link below. But let's get into the content, because I know this is what you guys are here for. So what we're going to be talking about today is the Apothecary character. He's a Magic Affinity, amazing character. Support, he does a lot of great things. He brings a lot of utility to the team. So the first thing that we're going to always go into, like I always do, is usually we talk about the base stats, and this is what kind of drives us on how we decide to build the character. Now, there are a few builds that we can go, and we actually are going to do a few builds. I'm going to show you what my personal build was. I do have to give a prelude explanation on my build. My prelude explanation on this build was because I wanted to use him across the board and I wanted him to survive. But we have done some recent changes to him that makes him a little more tanky. So we can probably do a little bit of switching around. But my build is more for, Apothecary to sustain and still be alive and kind of provide some utility to the team on an arena basis level. But if you were trying to do a clan build, we do also a clan boss build. We do discuss that as well. But first, let's talk about the beginning, which is the base stats, the skills, and then we'll kind of go into the artifacts, and then we'll go into the masteries and see how we branch off on that. So the first thing I want to talk about is let's look at his basic stats. His basic stats are pretty good. I definitely do love his HP. His HP is really nice. If we do compare him to our Scartorsus, because that is our highest level 6-star HP character, his baseline is 20k. If you look at Apothecaries, his baseline is 17k. That's really good. If you compare it to Kale, Kale only has 13k. So if you kind of do the assessment on those characters right there, the fact that he's kind of close to Scartorsus is a really good thing. But he's a support character, so he's able to eat some damage but also stay for the fight. So that's the first thing I definitely did notice that I did like when I 6-star ascended him. The next thing was his defense. His defense is actually really decent. The fact that it's over 1,000 is a good thing, because there are characters that have 700 defense or 700 or whatever, kind of like Cold Heart. Jarang is a really good example of his defense being really low. Kale isn't bad. He's at 914. But if you were trying to say Glass Cannon, Jarang. If you're trying to say mid, it's Kale. And then after that, you kind of have Apothecary, which is really nice. And then if you want to go to really nice defense, you look at Scartorsus. He has 1376, almost 1400 defense. So comparing all those kind of characters, you can kind of get an assessment of, all right, so his defense is pretty decent. The simple fact that it's over 1,000. So right off the bat, we have the initial assumption that we're going to kind of build this character with a lot of HP or a lot of defense to kind of keep him in the fight. The next thing I definitely do want to talk about, his attack is okay. His attack isn't great. That's why I kind of like overlooked it, because that's not what we're going to be really using Apothecary for in our build. We're kind of just really using him to kind of stay a little tanky so he can heal and also provide that speed, which we'll discuss the skills once we get into that. The next thing is his speed. His speed, the fact that it's over 100 and it's 106 is really nice, guys. So that is a baseline, is incredible. So I definitely do want to keep that in mind when we're looking at that. Let's just bounce around some characters here. Kale's is 103, which is really nice. Jarang is actually at 100, which is really good. Scartorsus is at 109, which is amazing. And then Jizo, who's a tanky character, his speed is actually at 94, so you see him dip a little bit. What about Bellinor? Bellinor is at 105. He's actually really good. So I definitely do like that his speed is also a nice thing. So it's like HP, defense, and speed. Speed is going to be the main thing that I definitely am going to hit on, guys, when it comes to Apothecary, and we'll discuss that in a bit. The next thing I want to talk about, his crit rate is the same, is normal. It's pretty baseline compared to everyone. Kale, Jarang, Felinor, all of them have 15 crit, so that's pretty standard. If we go to crit damage, that's pretty standard. His resist being 30, that looks pretty standard too, so that's not really anything. Scartorsus is the one that kind of goes over 40. And then his accuracy, we don't really care about accuracy with him because he doesn't have anything that applies debuff, so we're going to really ignore that. So, now that we discussed what we are going to care about, which is speed, defense, and HP, and eventually we're going to also talk about resist. That would be the next thing that you would want to go on the line, but I'm kind of thinking speed, defense, and HP, or speed, HP, and defense. Whatever items you can get that kind of have those type of stats, those are really going to be your main things. If I'm able to get HP percentage, like if I'm going to go for speed, but if I can get as a main stat for an item HP, I'm going to go for that. If I can't get that, I'm going to go for defense as the next thing. So that's kind of the build we're going to kind of go for. But let's go look at the skills really quick. So there's Scatterbolt. Attacks 3 times at random. So he performs 3 attacks, which is a really good thing. Soothing Chant. Heals an ally target by 35%. This heal can be critical. Now, this is the thing that was interesting to me, and I kind of ran some tests offline essentially before I did the video to confirm, because the first thing when I started messing with Apothecary was, you know what? Instead of having HP gloves, let's say, and I don't have HP gloves, so I kind of went with defense. I did the 50% defense route because that's the next best thing. I was originally going for crit rate. I was going for crit rate because my assumption from the skill was that that because it says it can crit, that if you increase your crit rate, it'll just always blow up. But what I was assessing when I was doing, and I did a few runs, my heals did not change at all. When I was healing Apothecary, I was always healing 26k. When I was healing like Kale, I was healing from like 11k and something. So it was like, so I was like, okay, so maybe crit rate gloves is not the best option. So let's make him more tankier. So that's the route I went. So this heal can be critical kind of misled me a bit, thinking that you can, but it doesn't really matter from what I'm seeing. You guys let me know in the comments below, because I ran actually a few tests just doing a bunch of like brutal runs of me removing crit rate gloves, doing heals, still the same. Me adding the crit rate gloves back, doing the heals, still the same. So you guys can tell me what's going on with that. But from all the tests that I ran, crit rate didn't matter. So it could be a bug, it could be not, who knows, but it didn't seem like it benefited anything, so I kind of just kept it moving at that point, and I decided to put defense gloves to make him tankier. If I had HP gloves, I would. The next thing is Boon of Speed, which this is really, besides the heal, is his shining glory, guys. This is what's going to make Apothecary incredible, especially when it comes to Arena. He places a 30% increased speed buff on all allies for 2 turns, but the next thing is really fills the turn meter of all allies by 15%. So we're going to talk about the Arena strategy with him later on, but the idea would be if you made him the fastest character, he will bring your entire team up to become faster than the rest of the other team, and then you'll be able to get the first shot at potentially killing the Arena team. So that's why you kind of want to build Apothecary in a speed sense. Then the next thing is Aura, which increases allied defense in dungeons by 21%. I don't use it because obviously I have Scartorsus, which is my lead, which increases speed in dungeons by 33%. That is kind of beast, so I kind of stay with that. So we kind of discussed all his skills. We discussed the heal. It doesn't, the fact that it says heal can be critical. Crit rate gloves don't affect that in any form or fashion, it seems. And then we have the increased speed. And besides, regardless, his heals are insanely good. Regardless of, it's just incredible the amount he heals. I absolutely love it. So now let's talk about kind of like the items that you want to build upon. So like I was kind of saying before, the main things you're going to want to care about is speed. Then after that, you're going to care about HP, you're going to care about defense, and then you're going to care about resistance, because you do want your support character to be able to not get stunned, so he can provide a heal or you can increase speed to kind of help the team out in any form or fashion. So you're kind of going for that utility build where this character will be able to stay alive but also be able to do things without being affected. So, obviously the top items here are kind of standard because the top main stats don't change. This is like a poor setup right here in this regard because accuracy I don't care about. Crit rate I don't care about too much. HP is really nice, resistance is nice. If I had some defense and speed here, I would have been really happy. So that would be the essential, the essence of the substats. So we're gonna skip the top ones because essentially the main stats are always the same, and we already discussed what we want to go for substats. So what I did for gloves was I went for defense in this case because I did not have an HP main stat glove, but it does have HP as a substat, so I was super happy about that. It does have crit rate and crit damage or whatever, and it does have a flat defense. I would have hoped to kind of have either some resistance or kind of all the things that we essentially discussed. If we go to the chest piece, I did go for HP. So you want to go for HP if you can for gloves. You want to go for HP if you can for chest. I actually was able to. We did have speed, which is amazing. We did have defense, which is awesome. If we did have some not accuracy, if we did have some resist here, that would have been pretty legit. So I would have been happy with that. But it's still a really good chest at the end of the day. And then if we go for for boots, you're always going to want to go for speed as the main stat, guys, because you want this guy to go really fast. Attack with like these substat rolls are whatever at this point, to be honest, but I did go I needed to put speed boots on him, and this was the best ones that I could get. But it's kind of like we discussed with the substats that we're going to care about. We're going to care about HP, we're going to care about defense, we're going to care about resistance, and then speed, or whatever order you can. Obviously if you have speed as a main stat, you're not going to get it as a substat, but that's essentially the idea, guys. So, and then when we went for rings, we went for HP. We did have also defense here, and we did have the HP percentage, which is awesome. And then it was kind of like attack and attack, which is whatever. Going here, like this isn't a really good amulet, but if I would want to have an amulet, which I don't have too many right now, I would want an HP amulet. That would probably be the route that I would go, guys. It does have resistance though, which is cool. Right now I'm just kind of eating it and dealing with it. For this, I went for defense for the banner because it's all I have. But you can go for resistance to kind of increase your resistance with Apothecary, which is really nice. But a defense banner also isn't a bad idea as well. Not to mention it has speed here and defense percentage. So it's a really good thing at the end of the day. But probably going for a resistance banner isn't too shabby either. Depending on what you're going for, you can vary it. So like it's kind of your preference over here, but definitely resistance is a pretty good option. Defense was kind of my fallback here, so I definitely went with that. So now that we discussed the artifacts, guys, we actually, if you look at our the stats that we increased over here for our boy Apothecary, he has a lot of HP. He has really good defense. Believe it or not, his defense is actually, it looks like it's higher. It's pretty, I think it's higher than Scartorsus's. I'm just kind of like, it's really close. It's neck and neck. I don't want to spend too much time on this video just trying to look at those numbers, but that's pretty good. His speed is, we went for a speed set, guys. That's the next thing I definitely did want to mention if you guys didn't see. So we got two pieces of speed sets, which increases 12%, 24, 36. This guy goes really fast. If you do have a divine speed set, that is really awesome as well because it provides the shield. I don't have a good one. If I did, I would be putting on Scartorsus and Apothecary first. But since we don't have that, we're kind of just going with the basic speed set in this case. So we discussed artifacts, we discussed the skills, we discussed his base stats. Let's go into the next thing, which we're going to be talking about now, and it's the masteries. So I'm going to first talk about my mastery build. We'll probably do an arena match or so you guys can see what I'm talking about. And then we'll do a clan boss match with my build. And then we'll do an actual clan boss battle with the clan boss build and see how much his damage increases. So I'm very interested in that. Alright guys, so let's take a look at the masteries now. Mind you, there's a few janky things with this mastery, and I will state my my reasons right now / excuses, because I was going through the process of building him, And when he was 5-star, his defense was very low. Until he got 6-star, he didn't go over the 1,000 cap. And obviously, I was doing that foolish thing about using crit rate gloves, which was goofy as hell. So we're going to go into the defensive tier, and I'm going to explain really quick from what I would do differently here. So the first thing was increase that resistance. And the reason I went for this build is because I wanted him to be tanky but provide some type of support and just an all-around benefit where Apothecary you don't have to worry about too much, but he's able to heal everyone else on the team if it comes down to it. So we gave him some resistance here. I did go to increase the amount of healing and the value of shield buffs this champion receives by 5%, just in case he needs to heal himself. I did go to heals this champion by 6% of their max HP each time an enemy is healed, occurs once per turn. That was more of an arena perspective, where if they heal, Apothecary heals as well, so he kind of stays in good standing. Then we did Solidarity. I always have issues with that. And this increases the ally resist by 5 for each buff placed on them by this champion. So because he does the speed buff, it's a really good thing, and it gives some resistance, some extra resistance that the team can have so they don't go through any issues. So because he'll be the first one because he has the most speed, he definitely gets to put that in there. The next thing is Cycle of Revenge. Has a 50% of increase in the turn meter by 15% when an ally is attacked with a critical hit. Will only increase the turn meter once if an ally receives multiple hits from a single skill. So this is really good to kind of get Apothecary up there to kind of perform and do more heals or just do a speed boost. Anything that's able to provide more utility for the support. It's really a good thing for the heal. Now this, up to this point, for the defensive build, it's not bad for Apothecary. This is pretty good. But the part where it was kind of sour is this part over here where I went with Retribution, which is, it's stupid. You should never do this. But I couldn't go into Selfless Defender because Apothecary was too squishy at the time for me. But now that we put defensive gloves, he's actually able to tank a little bit more. So if I were to alter anything right now, and I'm not going to reset the spec to alter this spec, I'm going to do it for the clan boss build, I would change from Retribution, because his A1 doesn't do a debuff, or it doesn't strip anything like Scartorsis, which Scartorsis would be really good for Retribution. I should have kind of mentioned that in the video. But I needed him to be tanky at the time being because my team is just too squishy. But now, since we're kind of building a lot of strength, Apothecary can take this role. So I would probably switch Scartorsis to kind of have this, and I would probably put Apothecary with maybe Selfless Defender, which decreases the damage an ally receives from the first enemy hit in each round by 20%. Now this is really good for arena-based kind of things, guys. So that's why I would go with something like this, because I definitely do want my Jarang to survive. I definitely do want my Kale to survive, because if they're able to survive, then they're able to kind of end matches for me, and that's really the important part. When Scartorsis is the only one, kind of, because I have a tanky Scartorsis, if he's the only one, he closes matches, but like Kale and Jarang are the ones who really basically, like, they just close things down because they do really great damage. So I would swap, screw this, ignore that part, guys. Just imagine that I was putting Selfless Defender. That would be my defensive support build. So then if we go to the support build, guys, we went to max HP. We did heals this champion 10% of their max HP the first time an enemy is killed. Really good for sustain. Increases the value. Now, this one is kind of like overall dungeons and arena kind of thing. That's my perspective on it. If you were doing clan boss, it kind of is debatable on what you want to put next after that. You can put something else. But clan boss, we would go offensive and support in this case. But this one would be a little bit debatable if you want to put 2 points in offense, whatever you want to do. But going a little further, let's continue with this tree. We went Lay on Hands, which increases the heals by 5%. We did Healing Saver, increases the amount of healing and the value of shield buffs placed on this champion by 10% if the target ally has 40% HP or less. That's basically like kind of an O-Snap scenario, which is really amazing. This one basically increases the turn meter by 10% when a buff cast by this champion expires. It's kind of the opposite of the debuffer one, which is this one, the Arcane Celerity, which is the one that Kale has, I believe, if I recall correctly. Yep. So we kind of just went down this tree, did a little more, increasing healing if the target ally has stun or sleep. All these things. This one, Cycle of Magic, is a little bit debatable. I would personally, the other thing I would change to right now because of the way my Apothecary is built, I would probably go into Lore of Steel, guys. So if you're doing a generic basic speed set, aka you're not using Divine Speed, because I'm pretty sure Divine Speed doesn't get affected by this because it says basic artifact sets, and Divine Speed isn't a basic artifact set. So if you're using a basic speed set, like the one that I was using, then I would go to Lore of Steel instead of Cycle of Magic. It's just 5% is just so low of a chance that it really isn't that beneficial now that I reflect on it. So I'd probably get this extra percentage versus like getting this Cycle of Magic. And then I kind of went to Lasting Gifts, has a 30%. This just extends the cooldown. Like, it has a chance to do that by one more turn, which is really cool. If that speed can last for 3 turns for someone, that's awesome. And then Timely Intervention is kind of like that Oh Snap. Very similar to Cycle of Revenge, where if someone gets hit really hard with a critical hit, it has a good chance of increasing turn meter by 15%. This is kind of the same thing where it's like 20% more meter if the ally hero drops to 25%. So it's like, oh snap, he's low, and then you get the 20%. You could actually pop off a heal, which will bring them back, and it kind of goes really well with, which is the one that, this one, Healing Savior, which if they're below 40% HP, let me see, placed by this champion by 10% if the target ally has 40% HP or less. So it goes really well with Healing Savior because they're going to be that low, and this is going to push Apothecary to the point to do that heal, and it helps. So I kind of went for that support slash defense. I wanted to go for a tanky spec now. I haven't done that spec. I will do that later in the future, probably for myself. But when I do this respec, I'm probably going to stay a while with the clan boss build and see how it goes. But this is my personal build. I really did wish I had Selfless Defender and Lore of Steel. Those are the two differences I would put in my build, guys. So definitely make note of those. The next thing, let's just do a quick arena match just to see how it is with Apothecary, because it doesn't hurt, right? Alright guys, so let's do an arena match really quick. So we're going to kind of just pick one randomly really quick here. We're going to pick Galahad just to kind of see how we do with, and honestly guys, this is a very new build with Apothecary. What I really want to show is here how tanky and how fast he really is. A lot of the other characters will have potentially some issues like Kale and Jarang, which is why I really wish I did go for that 20% absorbing of damage, but Apothecary is almost on par as being as tanky as Scartorsus now, which I absolutely do love. So let's take a look at this. So we had Apothecary go first. We put the speed buff. Then we had Scartorsus do attack and crit increase. Now, the people that we're going to care about, I'm going to actually, I usually do Talons in this case to kind of, reduce people's damage and attack, but Kill already went. So basically, Aethel is kind of concerning me with closing stuff for the AoE, so I'm going to go for Stunning Toss in hopes that that stun comes off. We got that stun off. That's the important part, because now Aethel can't attack, and we're going to go for a full-on nuke with the attack 50% and the crit, even though it would have been nice to have Talons, but at least we'll be able to close out Aethel. And we were able to close out some other people. So this is, at this point, it's kind of a toss-up of what you want to do. I kind of like playing it safe and healing Jarang. 16k heal is pretty awesome. I really do love the fact that he does that. We're just going to close it out with Scartorsus, and then that's pretty much it. But that kind of didn't really show how tanky, well, it kind of showed a little bit how tanky Apoth was, because he didn't really take too much damage when it came to the Arcane or the Acid Rain. I keep saying Arcane. I'm just too used to WoW. But the Acid Rain that Kale did. Every time I see something purple, I think Arcane. It's just so funny. But yeah, that is an example of an arena match with Apothecary. All right, guys, so let's do one more just for shits and giggles. This actually has Relic Keeper, which Relic Keeper kind of runs through my team. Like he hits Jarang, then gets that extra turn because Jarang is just so squishy, which is why I wish I had that. Like I said, I wish I had that skill set that basically Apothecary eats 20% of the damage, because basically Scartorsus would and then Apothecary would for Jarang and Kale. But since I have this weird spec right now, I still want to see after he kills Jarang how much Apothecary eats it. So we did our speed boost. Now we're gonna do attack and crit rate. Okay, so this is interesting. Basically Jarang outran Kale in this case because of the attack. So now we're just gonna have to do our acid rain at this case. Oh, he has a lot of counterattacks. This is kind of scary. You know what? YOLO, baby. YOLO, baby. YOLO. YOLO. All right, so here's the thing, guys. I could play it smart and just do stunning toss. But what I really want to do here is I want to do talons and see. No, we got to play it smart. But I want to see how it works with Relic Keeper. I want to test this out to see how much damage he eats. Let's see if we don't hit him. Oh, they made him hit it. So I actually didn't click on Relic Keeper. I clicked on someone else to do that, but this heal is just incredible. Damn, Apothecary's not taking any damage. That provoke. I really do like the tank build with Apothecary. It really makes it really nice in arena for sure. Oh my god! She didn't do anything, but she's green. She's a spirit affinity, so it's kind of like one of those things. All right, we're just gonna try to kill Relic Keeper at this point. Ah man, there it is. There it is. I knew Jarang was gonna eventually die. We're just gonna wrap this up now. Look at that. You saw how much damage Jarang ate? And then you look at Apothecary, he didn't eat anything. Apothecary didn't eat anything. Pimpin' ain't easy, man. Really crazy build. Like, they're not able to stop him on that. Alright, guys, so we kind of did 2 quick matches just to see how tanky Apothecary is. It would help Jarang and kill a lot if we did the damage absorption on the first hit. I think that would be a really cool thing to have. But yeah, now let's start talking about Clan Boss and doing a Clan Boss build, guys. So give me 1 second because we're going to do a respec right now. Alright guys, so one quick thing I did actually want to do here is, it's kind of like I did it in the other Kale video for speed grinding. Before we do the switch, and I did alter my specs, I did pay for gems on this one because I really care about giving you guys that info that you guys really need, especially when it comes to tree specking and what to do. In this specific video, guys, we are not going to be altering artifacts for the Clan Boss build, but you would obviously want to probably do a little more damage if you did want to switch things up. I'm still staying with the same specs of what the priority is because I do want Apothecary at the end of the day to stay up, even if we went down the defense tree, because what I really care about in the spec would be that the fact we would go for Giant Slayer, but we're going to hold off on that spec. I want to see how much damage we're going to do on this first run when we're doing defense and support, so then we can do a comparison with Apothecary after the fact to see what the numbers look like. So let's take a look at it, guys. Why not? So we're going to go now. We're going to do a Clan Boss battle. There's that build. Just to show you guys really quick, champions. I just want to make sure everything was copacetic, masters. Yep. No. Apothecary is who we care. Yep, we're all filled up. Let's get into it, guys. So we're going to do this first Clan Boss battle. I really do love providing this feedback to you guys, especially when it comes to this content. We're not going to go on hard because that's not enough HP. We would probably finish it because last time when we did that, I think we did 9 mil with 1 key or something like that. Yeah, we need to go on a consistent ground. So we're going to do brutal, and we're going to see how it is with this particular spec. All right, guys, so let's do it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to let the video, this match run probably for about a minute, and then I'll edit it to reduce it so you guys can just see what the output is after the fact. And then I'll do a respec with the offensive and the support tree, and we'll see what the damage output is with Apothecary and if it's truly worth it to go down that tree. I'm pretty confident after we go for the Giant Slayer build, it will be. But I definitely do want to show you guys what the difference is when we kind of go down that route. I really do like that Apothecary is very tanky right now. This is a really good thing. If you see any of the older videos that we have, he kind of has a lot of issues when it comes to eating the damage, especially when it's AoE, where he really has to focus on himself. But because he's so strong on eating damage that he doesn't have to worry about himself too much. Obviously, this is the early rounds, so the early rounds is very minimal damage. But me personally, I already do see a huge change with Apothecary when it comes to how he's handling the damage, even in the early stages. The changes from going from 5-star to 6-star are pretty major. They're pretty major, man. I would be very in awe Apothecary surviving. This is not normal. Like, the fact that Apothecary is now surviving in Clan Boss was not the norm. He would obviously get wiped, and then eventually everyone would follow suit after that. But the fact that wow, he lasted. So the fact that we just 6-starred him, we decked him out as a tank. He really he outlasted everyone. It's so funny that every character we do a video for, they're the ones that last. They're the ones that last. So it was like Jarang lasted in his, Kale lasted in his, I'm pretty sure, or it's that speed run video, and then basically Apothecary just survived in his. All right, so now before we use this other key, guys, I'm gonna do this quick respec, and then we're gonna hop to it. So let me just edit this real quick so you guys don't have to wait for me doing the respec. All right, guys, we are back, and this time we are doing a Clan Boss damage build. Now, we did not change our artifacts. We still want him to kind of be tanky so he continues to do his thing and provide support for everyone else. But essentially, the support build is kind of like this. I'm gonna put my camera in the middle. Very similar to everything that we had before, for the most part, with the slight tweaks of using, you know, essentially the lore of steel. If we go over here down the offensive tree, we gave crit rate, crit damage, increased speed for each enemy killed. This is more of an arena kind of thing to kind of have. This is increases damage inflicted for each dead ally, stacks up to 10% just to kind of have it. If it's like I said, that was arena. Same thing over here, but the main thing that I definitely did care about was Giant Slayer, which has a 30% chance of inflicting bonus damage when attacking. Bonus damage is equal to 7.5 of the target champion's max HP, or 3% of the target match's max HP, 3% of the max HP of the boss that you're attacking. So the reason I went for Giant Slayer instead of War Master is because he has 3 hits for his attack, which basically leaves it prone to having more potential of actually hitting. So I do want to see how Giant Slayer actually works out in this case. We did like 300,000 when we were using him with our defensive support build. So we're going to find out right now how much his damage will increase, or how much he would provide on damage input or output if we use this with Clan Boss. So let's get into it, guys. I hope you guys enjoy this content. I use so many gems just to kind of do this respecking for you guys, so I definitely hope you guys appreciate the content, because I know there's a lot of people that don't really do this when it comes to the specking of things to kind of see how certain builds are for characters. But like I said, we didn't do any artifact changes. We just did really a respecking to see how it goes. So now we're just gonna, I'm gonna let this run for another minute, and then we're just gonna cut to the end to see what the output is. What I am kind of hoping for, he did 82k right off the bat. He did 82k damage. Right there, he's already doing nearly 30. Look, he did another 82k damage. That red text right there is what's showing that basically that move is proccing so much. I am so sorry, guys. I'm blocking the text. Oh my god, I can't believe that. Where is... That is so fail on my part. Let's go here. We'll do a few more. I'll let it rock. I'll let it rock. I'm so sorry. Yo, I was blocking. That's troll. I trolled you guys so hard just now. Don't worry. You guys are going to see the meter at the end. Let's see if he does one here. He does the speed boost. I'm hoping that he pops one right now, because then you guys could see. Just look for the red text. 65k he did that time. So, let's see if he could do another one. 82k there. So, he's doing that damage. He's definitely over the 300k mark that we had before. So, when you're trying to go for a clan boss build, this is definitely the route you definitely do want to go. You want to have that Giant Slayer. 82k right off the bat again. This is going to be really exciting to see what the damage output is. Alright, so now we are at the end, guys. Let's see how much overall damage Apothecary did before he did 300k, like 303k. Wow. So Apothecary contributed with 1.4 million because of the change of this clan boss build, which is super important, guys. This is really crazy. So far, in regards to the team on optimization for clan boss, we do have Kale really good at 4.6 mil. We have Apothecary as a support doing 1.4 mil. If I could get Jarang to probably eventually switch over to actually do a full in-depth attack build instead of using Eagle Eye, we'd do more damage there. Bellinor, he's a 5-star, and Scartorsis, he's not providing too much right now if we did want to swap him. But right now, I'm still using him for too many sections that I really don't want to do the swap for him just yet. And I'd probably use someone else eventually that can do an attack buff, crit buff, all that good stuff, because Scartorsis is more of a stripper for multiple targets as his A1. So I could find someone more usable for him. He would be more of a spider thing, but I'm not trying to talk about Scartorsis. Look at Apothecary's damage increase. 300k, that's 3, 6, 9, 12. That's over 400% damage increase just by doing this build. Definitely amazing stuff. So, yo, guys, if you really enjoyed the content, the fact that I respect, so you guys can kind of see this breakdown, if you definitely do love this stuff, definitely, if it's your first time here, definitely be sure to hit that subscribe button, leave a like, leave a comment, all that good stuff. If you want to support, there's Patreon links. Come join us on Discord. Come follow on Twitch when we stream live. I also stream live on YouTube. And also, that Fice fan merchant will be dropping soon, so definitely keep a lookout for that. Thank you guys so much, and we'll catch you guys next time. Peace. See you guys. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. And yo, guys, leave comments. Let me know what you guys do in regards to Apothecary. I'm very curious about it. I definitely love. That's my fusion of definitely and love. I definitely love hearing what you guys say in the comments. I actually get knowledge out of it. I love giving knowledge, but I also like getting knowledge back. So these conversations in the comments really help, and also helps promote the channel. So thank you guys so much, and I'll catch you guys later. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Again, if this is your first time here and you're watching from YouTube, definitely be sure to hit that subscribe button. If you ever come to Twitch, definitely be sure to hit that follow button. Come join us on Discord. The link is below in the YouTube description. Also, last but not least, I want to say major shout outs to the sponsors. If you guys also wanted to financially support the stream, definitely be sure to check out that YouTube description below. There is a Patreon link. And if you can't support financially, don't worry, guys. There's other ways you can actually show support. That's getting the word out, sharing the content, letting friends and loved ones know about this this channel. Tell them to come and hang out. Come join us on Discord. You will not regret it. It's the best community / family ever. It says it right there on the freaking board. Yo, thank you guys so much for hanging out. I love you guys so much, and I will catch you guys next time. Let me know in the comments below what you would like to see next, what you think about the video, and so on. I'll catch you guys next time. See ya.